Hey everybody, good afternoon and happy Tuesday. I'm Amy Crane, Social Lab Marketing, and I'm here every Tuesday at 2 p.m., 11 a.m. Pacific, covering a different topic each week related to Facebook ads. So every week, it's a completely different topic. Hopefully it's something you can take and use to make your ads more effective. So if you have a question or if there's a topic you want to see covered, you can pop it in the chat box, or you can also post it to my Facebook page, which is Social Lab Marketing. So this week, I know I said we were going to talk about creating custom audiences and some targeting, things to do with targeting, but Facebook rolled out some new changes this week. So I actually want to start by covering the new changes to Facebook ads so you know what to expect. And then we'll go into one of my favorite tools, which is Audience Insights. And there's so much information in there. And I don't think a lot of people are really using it. It's a feature that Facebook rolled out over the summer. So it's really going to help you with your targeting. So I want to show you some really cool things you can do with that. So next week, I promise we will get to custom audiences. I just think we need the full 30 minutes for that, so I can show you exactly how to set it up and how to use it, when to use it, all of that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get started with the changes that Facebook made this week to ads and how our ads are set up. So if you, hopefully you can see my screen. If you logged in recently in the last week or so, I guess, you might see a screen like this. So this is the changes that they've made. They've changed our targeting, bidding, and placement. So now all of our targeting, bidding, and placement settings are at the ad set level. So before, whenever you created an ad, for every ad that you created, you had to create your ad, and then you had to fill in the targeting. So you had to type in all the pages you wanted to target, the interest, the gender, the age, location, everything for every individual ad. With these new changes, you'll create an ad set, so all of your targeting is there. So all the pages, the gender, location, everything. You'll also select your bidding and your placement. So if you just want it to show up in the news feed, or if you want it to be a right side ad, whatever your choice is, you'll set that at the ad set level, and then you'll be able to create as many ads as you want within that ad set. So Facebook is doing this to make it easier to create, manage, and test ads for all of the audiences that matter to you, so you can understand what works best for each. And if you weren't setting your ads up this way, you really should be. So I think this is a move on Facebook's part to make the ad process a little bit, to kind of take away the clunkiness, and it's not so complicated, right? So they're forcing you to do it in the most effective and efficient way possible. So it's going to make your ads more efficient, because you're not going to have a bunch of different targeting all clumped together that you're spending $20 a day on and you're not sure what's working. And you'll take less time when you're actually setting up your ads. I know when you're starting a campaign and you're testing out a lot, you know, having to upload all these different ads can take some time. So with the new changes, it'll all be in one place. You can then create as many ads as you want, swapping out your image, your text, your copy, and all of that good stuff. So here's just a quick overview. Wrong way. So everything else is pretty much going to stay the same. So with the campaign, that nothing's changing there. You'll still have your single objective that you can pick. So if you want to drive traffic to your website, if you're trying to get conversions, whatever that objective is, that remains at the campaign level. So anytime you want to switch up your objective, you have to create a different campaign. That's not changing. Then we have our ad set. So before, you just set your budget and your schedule. So if you only wanted it to run for 2 weeks for $5 a day, you would set that at the ad set level, and then you would move into your ads and create all of your ads with the targeting. Now you'll do this at the ad set level. So you'll have your targeting, your placement, and your bidding. And then within that, we'll have our ads that will include, you know, all of your ads with different images, text, call to action, links, videos. So the actual setup of your ads isn't going to change. So, and this isn't going to affect how your ads are delivered or how effective they are. It's just a change to how we're going to set those up. So keep an eye out for this. I had the change. I had the rollout for like a day, and I don't know what happened, but they took it away. But some of my client accounts have it. So I was able to grab a couple screenshots before I lost it. So hopefully I'll get it in the next day or two. And you might have it, but if you don't have it, just expect it in the coming week or so. So the other change that they made, and this is something that you need to know, and it's also going to make setting up your ads a lot easier. So this change has to do with bidding. Originally, there were 3 options, and those 3 options aren't going away. But the way that Facebook is laying it out, they're making it easier and simpler. Complicated. So before we had CPC, which is you're paying per click. CPM, you're paying per impressions. And then optimized CPM, basically Facebook takes your ad and they optimize it. So they serve it to the people that are most likely to perform that action. So if you're trying to get clicks to your website or likes or conversions, they show it to the people that are most likely to take action. So if you're setting up your ads, and especially if you're just getting started, I always recommend starting with optimized CPM. I've tested this out and I almost always get a better response when I use optimized CPM. And there are exceptions, and there are some campaigns I would go for CPC over, but it's very rare, and we won't get into that now. We can cover that a different week. But just so you know, when you're setting up your ads, optimized CPM is what you want to do. You're going to see higher conversions and a lower cost. So keep it simple, go for optimized CPM. So here's how it's going to look now. So instead of saying CPC, CPM, OP, CM, whatever, you'll just optimize for your clicks to website. This is just a test here. And it says recommended next to it. We'll serve your ads to people who are more likely to click from your ads to your website. So this is taking the place of optimized CPM. Again, there's no change to how effective your ads will be or how they're going to be served to your audience. They're just changing the wording. So I think they're trying to make it simpler, a little bit more intuitive, so it's not so complicated. The new thing that they've added, though, which is pretty cool, daily unique reach. So they're only going to show your ad to someone once per day. That's it. So if you want to put a cap on how many times people see your ads, you'll select daily unique reach. And this is a completely new feature. I haven't had a chance to test it out, so I'm curious to see what works. So once I get to test it out, I'll let you guys know. Next, we've got clicks, and that's just our CPC. So you're going to pay every time somebody clicks on your ad. And then impressions, they're going to show your ad to as many people as many times as possible, whether or not they click, whether or not they take action. So like I said, the recommended, clicks to website recommended, that's the one you want to pick. And this will be pretty similar whether you choose post engagement, page likes, conversions to your website, whatever it is, you'll have these 4 options. And then your next option is so we've selected clicks to website, pricing. Get the most website clicks at the best price. So this is basically Facebook saying, we're going to optimize this for you. We're going to show this to the people that are actually going to click on this. They're going to go to your website. That's your option there. If you like to do manual bidding or you want the manual bidding option, that's the second option. Set the target amount. You want to pay per website click. So they're going to deliver your ad. Hopefully you'll pay less than what you bid, but there are some cases, just letting you know that, while it's uncommon, your cost per click may exceed your bid. So you really need to have a little bit of practice with bidding and know where to bid and what bidding works and where the target, where that sweet spot is. So I just recommend just get the most clicks at the best price. Keep it simple. And then later, once you've got your ads up and running, if you want to go and test it out and break it down, go for it. So here's another quick screenshot I wanted to show you. So now when you log into Ads Manager, you will have, this is the screen you'll see. So you'll still have your graph that shows you, that's going up and down as you're getting conversions or clicks. The first screen you'll see is this top piece, and that's going to show you how much you've spent, your lifetime, end date, all of that good stuff. Now, if you want to change how long your ad runs or the budget or your targeting, you'll have your icon. So before you could just edit your budget within the ad set, right? And if you wanted to change your targeting, you went into each individual ad, clicked edit, and then you could adjust your targeting. Now it's all going to be up at the top. So if you change it, it's going to affect every ad in that ad set. So just keep that in mind. So if you have an ad that's performing really well and you want to test it out against, a different audience, you need to create a different ad set for that. So be on the lookout. Like I said, you're going to be getting this in the next couple days. So like I said, this is a rollout. If you haven't seen these changes yet, you will soon. The delivery and performance of your ads will not be affected. So you don't have to worry about, if you've got an ad that's performing really well, once you get the new rollout, it's not going to tank. It's not going to fall off. This is strictly just the way we. You'll have the option to move any new ads over to the new structure. If you choose not to do that, you have until January. And then after that, Facebook will just automatically roll them over. Once you do have the rollout, any new ads that you create will be in the new format. So just keep that in mind. But when you log in for the first time, you'll get these little pop-ups. They kind of walk you through. They'll take you through a quick little tour. So it's all pretty easy, nothing too complicated. Like I said, I think it's all meant to make creating your ads more effective and make it an easier process and not quite so clunky. So that's it for the new changes. So now I want to take the last 15 minutes or so and talk about Audience Insights. So Audience Insights is it's a powerful tool. There's so much information there. Sorry, my slides keep going back to the beginning, so let's get where we need to go. Okay, so if you're just getting started, this is a little basic, but if you're just getting started with Facebook ads, you want to come up with a couple pages. I suggest starting with anywhere from 5 to 10 just to get started. These can be 5 pages that your customers would like. These are most likely going to be some pages that you also like, that you're can also be competitors. And I don't really like the word competitors, but you know what I mean. People that are, in your niche, in your industry, that are doing something similar to you. So make a quick little list. Think of a few pages. And if you're already running ads, you probably have a good idea of who you want to target. So when we go over to Audience Insights, this will make more sense. But our goal when we are running our ads, we want to target between 250 and 500,000 people. That really seems to be the sweet spot. So if you're running an ad and you've typed in all these pages and you're really excited and you look over and it says you've got a target audience of 3 million or 5 million people, you might want to take that and break that down into a couple different audiences. Maybe group them together, similar pages together. And the reason I say this is I've ran ads to like a really big group of people, and I think what happens is that your ads get diluted because there's so many people that could be seeing your ad, and it's just not as effective. So if we narrow it down and we keep it at that 250,000 mark, that really seems to be the sweet spot for ads. If you are a small, or if you're a local business, your target audience might be a little bit smaller because you've got a smaller pool to pull from. But that's okay. You might have an audience of 10, 20, 50,000, and that's perfectly fine. You can still run a really successful campaign there. Depending on how local you are and how small and tight your niche is, you'll probably end up paying a little bit more per action, but that's okay. Hopefully they will still be, highly targeted likes or leads to your business or to your page. But if you are able, if you're a coach, a consultant, and you can work with people all over the United States, Australia, wherever, shoot for that 250 to 500,000. So what I want to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to hop over to Facebook and pull up, let's see here, Audience Insights. So we can take a quick tour of that. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, so to get to your Audience Insights, you'll go into and you'll have campaigns, reports, and then you'll see Audience Insights. It's on the left-hand column. When you open up Audience Insights, this is the first screen that you will see. Here's some really cool things you can do with Audience Insights. Okay, first of all, you can compare where your page stands compared to the rest of Facebook. You can find other pages to target. You can see how much people are spending on their homes, if they own a home, if they're married, if they're single, if they buy online, if they don't buy online. I mean, it's the amount of information in here is mind-blowing. It's crazy. So if you're not using it, it's just silly. And the cool thing is, once you find an audience that you want, I'll show you how to do this. You can actually save it, so you don't have to go through and make a list. Before, I would write down all these pages. I might use Graph Search to find other pages to target. Now it's all within Audience Insights. We can save it to use for later. So here are our options. You can look at everyone on Facebook, just in general, where everyone on Facebook stands. You can select people connected to your page. If you don't have a couple thousand fans on your page, you're not going to be able to use this just yet. You'll get an error message saying that your audience size is too small. And if you have a custom audience that you've uploaded, so if you're targeting visitors to your website or your email list, you could select a custom audience and see how they compare to the rest of Facebook. And like I said, we're going to go over that next week, so I'll show you how to set all that up. So if you don't know how to do that, don't worry, got you covered. So we're just going to get started with just a basic tour. So this is the United States, basic breakdown of people on Facebook. Male, female, here's their lifestyle, relationship status, education level, even their job title is on here. The pages that they like. So most people in the United States, Walmart, Amazon, Target, Macy's, Kohl's. That makes sense, right? So these are the pages they're most likely to like. And here's how relevant the pages are. You can also break down location, so where most of these people are located. Here's our activity. So this is how many times they performed an act, whether they liked a page, they're commenting, their post, or they liked a post, they shared a post, they clicked an ad, what device they're using. All this information's in here. Household. So I would assume if you're a real estate agent, there's some really great information in here. Household income, home ownership, household size, market value, how they spend, right? And here's purchases. So how likely are they to buy online and what are they spending their money on? It'll tell you exactly what category, where they spend most of their money. So most people are spending their money on clothing and then food and drink. That makes sense, right? They even tell you if they're in the market for a vehicle. I mean, that's how much information is in here. So I want to show you how this works because it's pretty cool. So we're going to stick with the United States for now. But if you're, if you need to target by state or city, whatever, you would go in here, update that. You can select age, your gender. So it's really just like you're setting up your ad. Now we've got our list of a couple pages we want to target. So I'm just going to test out a couple. Let's try Amy Porterfield. Everybody knows Amy Porterfield. So you'll see that this page populates every time you add an interest there. So it breaks it down by category, what the top, and then down here, it's going to tell me pages that are likely to be relevant to your audience based on the page that they like, right? So you've got Amy Porterfield here, and then the next one looks like social triggers, okay? And then we've got Martin Smith, and we've got Social Media Examiner. So now I know I've got a couple more pages I can type in here. So let's just try Social Media Examiner. and see, and then it changes. So it's added James Wedmore, digital marketer, LKR social media. Down here, it looks like let's see, we got John Loomer would be next, and then Mari Smith. So let's add him. Seeing it, a couple things changes. So what I want you to pay attention to, one, this is a really great tool for figuring out where page likes, or pages you can target for your ads. The second thing is it tells us how many people we're targeting up here. So remember I said we want to be in that 250 to 500 ballpark. We're right in the middle there. So that's perfect. I'm totally happy with this audience. This makes sense. It's a good number. It would be great to test out some ads, right? One other thing, and this is an issue that's come up a lot, is pages buying fake likes or pages that have a lot of spam bots. They've got a lot of fake accounts to their pages. And when you're running an ad, that's an issue, because if you're targeting a page, and let's say they've got 100,000 fans, but 80,000 of those are just junk, you're wasting your money. So one quick way you can tell if you think a page might have a lot of spam bots or junk accounts, if you go over here to location, let's take this United States off so we can see where most of their likes are coming from. So we've got a lot in Australia, which is fine, no problem there. United States, we got some up in Canada. That looks good. If you pull this list up and you see a lot of places in India or China, it's possible that they've got a lot of spam bots. That just seems to be where, I don't know if they're running businesses, whatever, however it works, that seems to be where the majority of the spam bots come. Now, and that's not saying that everyone in India or China is a spam bot, but when people are buying these fake accounts or they're paying for likes and they're targeting these countries, they're usually getting mostly junk or spam. So that's one way to tell if you're targeting pages that have real legit followers. And also, you've got to think about where your target market is. If you only want to work with people in Canada or in Australia, you want to make sure the pages you're targeting are in line with that. So that's why that location feature is really helpful. And then you can also tell, I'm going to put the United States back in here, just because we need to have that. So then when we go over to activity, we can tell how active they are. So when we looked at just in general Facebook users in the US, the numbers were a lot lower. So you'll see this group is on Facebook. They're liking pages, they're commenting, they're liking posts. So this is a very active group, right? So chances are when you run ads to them, they're going to be more likely to click, to share, to do all of these actions. So your bidding might be, or your cost will probably be a little bit lower because they are more active on Facebook. So these are all just things to keep in mind when you're going through this. And then if you want to look at their purchase history, how much they spend. They're spending a little bit online. What are they spending? Food and drink, clothing. So they're right about the average. So all of that information is in there. But really the main thing is this page likes. This is going to make your life so much easier. And the cool thing now is that we can just click save, and it's going to save this audience. See here, we'll give it a name. Save it, and then we can just go straight and create an ad from here. And it gives you the option of using Power Editor or Ads Manager. Of course, I recommend using Power Editor. I love Power Editor. There's so many more features. They roll out all these new features in Power Editor way before they get them in Ads Manager. But just for now, we'll use the Create an Ad tool just so you can see how it works. Let's just do promote your page. Let me pull up my page, and then we'll just scroll down here, and you'll see it populates this for us. It's sold in the United States. We didn't change the age or gender, but it's got our 3 pages right here, and it's got our potential reach is 300,000, which is what we thought. you know, and this little arrow is always kind of nice to see. So we know we're right there in the middle, that we've got a good niche. And then you'll just go through and fill out the rest of your ad, right? Put your budget, all of that good stuff in. But that audience is now saved so that you can use it later. So if you want, if this is going to be an audience that you use all the time, it will always be in there. It will always be saved, so you don't have to type this in over and over. So that's one of my favorite tools. I love, love, love it. I promise it's going to make your life so much easier. So definitely give it a try and see what you come up with. See if you find any new pages to target. I actually found a couple that I didn't really think about targeting, and they've performed well for me. So play with it and see what you get. So that's it for this week. If you have any questions, like I said, you can type them in the chat box, or you can post them to our Facebook page if there's a topic that you want covered. Let's see, one question just came in. How do you know, why are you getting fake likes to your page, and how do you know? So you could be running ads. It could be two things. You could be running ads and targeting countries like India or China, and you'll get a lot of likes that way. Or, you know, someone could be buying if you bought those fake likes, which hopefully you didn't. But if you are just posting regularly, and if you are running ads, you're selecting a specific state, city, country, whatever, you should be fine. There shouldn't be any issues there. And you can actually go into the settings on your Facebook page and put restrictions if you feel like you're getting bombarded for some reason by other countries that aren't in your target market. You can go into the settings on your Facebook page, and you can set those so that people, you know, only certain countries, your page will only be shown to people in certain countries. So that's an option. But like I said, if you're running your ads, you're controlling who you're targeting, you should be fine. And never buy fake likes, because you'll get, you know, a ton of fans on your page, but they're not actually interested in buying. And it's becoming really obvious when pages do that. You know, one day they've got 500 fans, and the next day they've got 100,000. It just doesn't happen. So just keep an eye out for that. All right, so we are almost out of time. I think that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be here again, 2 p.m., 11 a.m. Pacific. Next week, we're going to dive into creating custom audiences. So traffic to your website. These are going to be some really cool tools that you want to use to help build your page and to help market to your customers. I read an article that said, if you're emailing out to your list and you're using Facebook ads to target those people on your list, your conversions are like 20% higher. And don't quote me on that, but I read an article and it was somewhere in that range. So definitely tune in next week. We'll cover that. And in the meantime, hop over to my Facebook page, Social Lab Marketing, and ask any questions, or if you have a topic you want covered. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Have a great week, everybody.